Hey everybody, this is Dr. Diane, and we're going to talk about the mental emotional component of Lyme and mold. And this is a really touchy subject to cover via video because I want to be very careful as I go into this information to make sure I'm communicating in a way where it's very clear of the awareness that I have of the level of intensity of the mental emotional system with Lyme and mold, because so many times people are told, oh, you're just depressed, or oh, you just have anxiety, or oh, you just have bipolar, whatever it is. And what's really happening is, one, anybody that goes through this much of a health issue is probably going to be a little bit sad because, or a lot sad because they can't participate in life. So having a mental emotional response is very, very, very normal just from the sheer challenge of what it's like to be completely disconnected from the life that you once had. Secondarily, we have a situation where your nervous system is inflamed. And when your nervous system is inflamed, that alone can lead to rage and lead to the threshold of tolerance changing, meaning for a lot of us, our nervous system, say if we reach anger after we have enough of our nervous system that fires and fires and fires and fires and finally we get angry. But if the anger threshold, because of our nervous system and our nerves being so inflamed, if basically we get kicked to anger way down here, it can take something really, really small on any given day for us to snap. So there's a fine line between it not being your fault, which is not, none of us choose to live or work in a moldy place. That happens, right? That's accidental. None of us obviously choose to be bitten by an insect and have a infection or a myriad of infections or other toxins accumulate in our body. So there is a huge amount of victimness that happens with Lyme and mold. And any of us who've gone through these things, there is a huge element of you are a victim. This did happen. But the challenge with this and the where we have to walk a very, very thin tightrope line is, while that is all true, and while this is not your fault, we do have a level of internal responsibility as far as how we are going to respond to the fact that this has happened to us. That's how we take our control back. Yes, this happened. Yes, it sucks. Yeah, it more than sucks. It's horrible. Dealing with some of this stuff myself when it was some of the hardest stuff I had ever and probably will ever go through, hopefully from my health perspective. That being said, the responsibility comes down to what can we do to mentally, emotionally cope, and it's our responsibility to take control over that. And one of the best things we can do, in addition to all the physical stuff we're doing to treat the root cause, to lower the inflammation, lower the neural inflammation, using basic things like resveratrol, for example, but also making sure we're getting to that root cause of the infections, the toxins, the imbalances that are leading to the inflammation. We want to do all of that from the physical side. But from the mental, emotional side, we need to retrain things. So if we've lowered our anger threshold so it's here, the problem is that even if we clean out all the gunk, the problem is we still have to retrain the nervous system for the anger threshold to be up here, right? So there's a repatterning and a reconditioning that has to happen. So if you've ever played an instrument and you've played for a long time in your life, and then you take, say, many years off, what tends to happen for most of us that have ever gone through this is there is a muscle memory where the body is like, oh yeah, there's a muscle memory. It's not like starting from ground zero, but there are some cobwebs that need to be dusted off and a retraining and a remembering of the nervous system to act in a different way. Well, how do we do that? The biggest ways we do that are through things that are actually causing the nervous system not to fire quickly. So we got to get the nervous system to slow down. So visualization works really well, breath work works really well, meditation works really well. There's a lot of different programs on the market that are really designed to work with the nervous system. When it comes down to it, I don't really care which one you do. And I'll tell people at our practices too, it doesn't really matter to me. It just matters that you're doing something. So I would really encourage you to think about what works for you from visualization, from different programs out there like Gupta and DNRS and Dr. Joe Dispenza. There's a lot of different ones, NES Health. There's so many different ones. And you want to find something that's going to help and support you. And the biggest thing with this is you want to put in the time and the effort. So while it is not your fault, while you are absolutely the victim of these horrible things happening, you are also the way out. You are also your own golden ticket. And this is a huge mind over matter thing. It's a mind over matter thing when you're laying in bed and you're like, I don't even have the energy or the lung capacity to do breath work. And then the way to work with this is to realize that there's really two choices. You either do nothing and continue to watch the body and the mind worsen and not heal in the way you want, or you find that will that takes so much effort. I know, believe me, I know. And you find that will to do just a few minutes and a few minutes again later and a few minutes again later of these types of mental, emotional things. And it's one of these things where it's like, it does take so much will, but it really is important to see that the options really are not change or change, right? And the only way change happens takes effort. And I know most of you that are watching this do not have a lot of energy for effort. This is where the will comes in. And this is where it's like, okay, well, if all you can do this day is lay in bed and try to breathe as slowly as possible and try to think of what it would be like and imagine and pretend for a few minutes what it would be like to have a healthy body again and pretend that feeling is in your body, right? Even if that is all you can do today, that is a win. And you want to make sure that every time you do that and you meet these wins, no matter how small, you take those moments to congratulate yourself, to build yourself up, which promotes healthy habits. The more you can internally say, good job, you did it, you nailed that one. The more you can give yourself that affirmation, that actually sends dopamine into your body, which is encouraging that habit of doing again. So you want to make sure that as you are working to change your neurology, you really want to make sure that you are congratulating yourself for every small win. And we do that a lot with our internal system, really celebrating the small wins, because that's what's going to encourage your body to come back again and again and do the work when it gets really hard. So I hope this helps bring some insight, and I hope this delivers the message in a way where you understand that by no means am I saying that it is your fault. By no means am I saying this is in your mind. What I am saying is, unfortunately, we can have our support systems and our clinicians and all these people to be support, but the way out of this is through you. Like, you are your ticket out, and the support is there. But in the end, it also becomes our own responsibility to say, determine and drive up that inner will to heal ourselves no matter what. So I know you can do this because I see people that don't think they can all the time. I see people that do think they can all the time heal their body, heal their mind, heal their entire life, and are living stronger, better lives than ever before and not having recurrence, all of these things. And I see this every single day. So I know you have it in you. Believe in your power to heal. Please reach out to us or other resources that you need for support, and I'll see you in the next video.